Today we're going to get in depth about red light therapy, how it can benefit you. A lot of you are clicking on this video because you're suffering from something called Eustachian dysfunction and tinnitus, and you're probably wondering, what is this red light therapy frenzy that's going on right now? What does this guy keep talking about? Well, I'm going to break it down to you here the best way I can, so that way it makes a little bit more sense. And I want all of you to reference this video whenever you're confused on distance, time of use, how long, how can this benefit an ear? Is it just a light? Is it just a light bulb? All these questions have come up, and I want to address them, and I want to give you a little illustration of how that all is going to wrap together. But I brought the board out here today because I want all of you to understand a little bit about red light therapy, specifically infrared. So when you think of red light, a lot of you are thinking of beauty products, skin products. They use the red light to help with collagen production, help with blemishes and healing blemishes. And I want to tell you all that that's great, and that there is some truth in that as well. And it has shown, many studies have shown that it does help with many things. But right now we're talking about, that's specifically, that's the beauty products. So when you think of red light therapy, visible light spectrum, you think about RLT, that's red light therapy. You think of it on a scale of, so when you think of light, you have to measure it. So every light is measured a certain way, and that measurement is called nanometers. So when you think of red light therapy, keep this in mind, that the nanometers for red light therapy, let me see if I can pull this up, is 630 to 700 nanometers, the measurement of red light therapy. Now, when you think of that, you say, okay, how does that help me with the ear? Well, unfortunately, this won't help you with the ear. This measurement of 630, 700 nanometers is not going to get into the cellular part of the body and the structures of the ear. So when you're doing red light therapy, you hear me say red light therapy, it's not just the light spectrum. And I'll cover a little bit more because I don't want to lose anybody. So the next thing is, when you think of red light therapy, in this sense, we're talking about infrared, which is IR. And IR penetrates at a nanometer of 700 to 1100 nanometers. Now that's quite a bit. Now at this level of distance, this particular light, this energy is not seen past this right here. I would say 630. The brain, the body can't see that light. So when you're at this level of nanometers, and you're all into the 1100, you're into 12, I would say between 1000 to 1100, your body can't see that. You're not going to see that. The eye is not going to see that. So at that level, it becomes something called infrared, which is IR. And at that travel distance that it can go in, it's going to reach the ear structure. It's going to penetrate to the ear, and it's going to help with multiple things. And I'll list those here. Now, a lot of you are still wondering, okay, how often should I do this? Is this something that I need to get clearance for? Is this something that you always want to make sure that your doctor or whoever's handling your care is aware of some things that you're doing? But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and I'm going to tell you this from my perspective and only my perspective. I was never told this by my doctor. Maybe I just didn't see the right people. I was not told this about my doctor. I was not told this about with my chiropractor, any health specialist that I've seen in that course of 3 years of dealing with this horrible ear condition. I was never told about this at all. I had to do my own research, and I honestly, that's what we all need to do, regardless of what you're going through. So we've covered RLT, so we know it's 630 to 700 nanometers. So right here, we're going to focus on IR. So at that level of penetration, and I'm telling you, at this level, you're going to hit something called, let me break this down for you. So the first thing is, when you think about red light therapy, you wonder, what is it going to do for me? First thing it's going to do, it's going to reduce inflammation. That's the first thing it's going to do. Why? And I'm going to tell you about why. When you go at that level of distance of the infrared, it's going to start targeting areas of the skin. Now, the distance of skin that it travels is in millimeters. And for the distance of this infrared, it goes at a distance of, I'm gonna put it, I don't want to interrupt my little list I got here. So I'm gonna put a little line across here. And at the distance of that penetration, we're talking 5 to 10 millimeters into the skin tissue. That's IR. That's a lot. For RLT, which is red light therapy, just visible light spectrum. Remember, you can see this light. You can analyze this light at 6:30. You can see this, or be even before that, or less than that. You will only go 1 to 2 millimeters into the skin and cells. I'll just put skin, cells, etc. Now you tell me, depending on what you're dealing with and what you're trying to accomplish, which one of these, if you're dealing with eustachian tube dysfunction and tinnitus, which one of these would you think you would want to go through? You would want to go with? You would want to go with whatever energy, infrared, that you can go. You want to travel as deep into the skin tissue as you possibly can. And that's why at 5 to 10 millimeters, and I will leave in the description studies, research that's been done. This isn't hidden information. This is information is out there. It's just having access to know to even use this information is what ultimately is the problem. So 5 to 10 millimeters through the skin, you're going to penetrate and get to the ear structures. The ear structures could be many things. Now, let me get my list going and I'll talk about all of those. Second thing is infrared is going to reduce oxidative stress. It's going to reduce oxidative stress. This is the amount of pressure we put on our bodies when we don't even realize it. We have the stress going on. We have buildup. A lot of us are dealing with neck tightness, poor posture. We're not getting adequate blood supply to the area of the body, and it's just not going to heal that way. It's going to be a hard road to heal if we're putting this stress and this pressure on our bodies. And honestly, sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. Next thing is it provides better circulation. That kind of plays on the oxidative stress. Better circulation into an area that doesn't really get good circulation already. Sometimes our ears are not looked at as needing the circulation that is needed to get rid of eustachian tube dysfunction. And to be honest with you, a lot of times we don't realize that could be a problem. You could have so many things going on. And let me explain. A lot of you are watching this video because you're hearing popping sounds, you're hearing clicking sounds, your neck is not right, your neck feels stiff and tense, your jaw feels tense and stiff. A lot of this will be remedied with better blood circulation, better reducing this oxidative stress, and reducing inflammation. Red light therapy, infrared light therapy specifically, can do all these three things. And it's not hidden information. This information is out there. It's not like this is some new thing that I'm trying to sell you. This information has been online. This information has been proven by many people. Now, as far as this condition being healed completely with infrared, that depends on the situation that you're in and the nature of what you're dealing with. And I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of you who have tried this method. Now, why am I talking? I have the machine right here. Look. And for those of you, and I'm gonna go into distance too, but this machine right here contains, this is a 300 watt machine. And if you look at it on the side here, it tells you the distance. The best distance is between 12 and 16 inches. You can probably barely see that, but 12 to 16 inches or 30 to 40 centimeters. The best distance I use personally is arm length level distance, like that. So just your arm. So if you have a table or something, you can put it there. So for those, let me backtrack. For those of you that are at the position where you're saying, "Nah, I've tried that, it didn't work," I'm going to tell you something. It depends on what we're doing. I bought a can of hold spray, hair holding spray for my daughter because it's winter and the wind's kicking up now. Let me tell you something. I can spray that on her head and then she can go roll around on the ground and mess it all up, and I can say it doesn't work. How come it doesn't work? It says it's hold spray. She's rolling on the ground. She's doing stuff with her head. It's not going to hold. The purpose of this machining, there are things that we're doing and we're unaware that we're doing it, so we say it doesn't work. We're using this device, but then we're doing things. Our oxidative stress, we have more inflammation. Inflammation can be due to poor posture. Sitting like this for 8 to 9 hours in our chair. We don't realize what we're doing to ourselves. Sometimes we're just unaware. And it's not to pick on anybody or say someone needs to be better at something, but we all can make some changes and adjustments. So what I'm saying is you can use this machine, eat a healthy diet. You can do all those things great. But then there's some areas that maybe like your posture is bad, or maybe you could eat more greens. You could get the more K2 in the diet, K1 in the diet. There's things that we can add and subtract, especially subtract. A lot of us don't realize, but we're doing a lot of harm to our bodies and we don't even realize we're doing it. We're putting things in our body, process things in our body. We're unwinding what we are trying to accomplish here. We're trying to accomplish this here. And if we don't stick to the plan and if we don't stay consistent, it's going to be hard for anything on this board to work. So remember, these 3 top things are the things that we need to focus on. Reducing inflammation. You can also reduce inflammation through diet. You can reduce inflammation through stretching. You can reduce inflammation through better sleep. All these things, better sleep, better diet. You can also use the infrared device, reduce the inflammation that way. You can get rid of the things that are adding inflammation, processed foods, junk foods. If you're doing something mobility wise to your body and you don't have training, you could be adding more inflammation that way. There's just a lot of things. So if you can eliminate step 1 or number 1, you can reduce that oxidative stress through a lot of things. Good diet, same thing. These all play off of each other. Good diet, good sleep, more vitamins, more vegetables. Reducing, if there's something very stressful going on in your lifestyle, try to figure it out, try to pinpoint exactly what it is. And if it's something you can get rid of today or soon or next week or next year, please do so. So get rid of, we want to lower the oxidative stress. Better circulation. Better circulation can be accomplished with some of the other things I just named. Better food intake, better sleep, better social environment, better job. There's a lot of things that these things can do better at. Lower the stress, the better the circulation, right? Once you start going through all the things in your particular lifestyle, you start identifying things that are causing all these problems here. You can't lose. And that's why I'm here today to tell everybody you can win. You can beat this condition. This condition is not unbeatable. There are ways to heal yourself from it. There are ways to cure yourself from it, but it's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of troubleshooting. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of understanding. It's going to take a lot of wondering what the next thing is, planning, prepping, journaling. All these things are very important, but you all can do it. I did it, and I'm not any trained professional or smarter than you or highly educated more than you. I just don't give up. So remember, 5 to 10 millimeters into the skin infrared light is going to travel in. It's going to help heal those things. It's going to reduce all these 3 things here, but it can't do it alone. You have to do these 3 things, but you also have to really make an effort on the other things for this to work. Remember, if you own a company, work in a company, it can't run by itself, right? Most cases it can't. You need a team. So you're the team member for your own body. And these 3 things here, you have to be sure to get on these things. Remember, this condition can be beat. If you can just remember that, it can be eliminated. It can be defeated. If you know those things, then you think, what am I doing to unwind or unravel what I just did good? Because remember, you can do 100 things good and do 1 really bad thing at the end, and it unravels a lot of the things you did good. I'm sorry to say that, but that's just the way it is. It's unfortunate. I don't like that either. There's times where I had a good diet all day. I ate so well all day, worked out, got up, good night, sleep, woke up, and then towards the end, just stuffed my face full of bad food, and I go to bed with a bad case of a stomach ache or whatever. Then you just undid everything you did good for that day. So remember, folks, stay consistent, stay diligent. Remember, infrared light is very beneficial if you give it a chance. I'm trying to think in my brain things I didn't cover, things I need to cover. So distance, arm level, so arm length. Time is very important. You want to do at least 15 to 20 minutes, both sides of the face. So we're targeting the ears in this video. So if you're watching this video for the ear condition, you want to still do the same thing. Put the device on one side, let it go through, sit there, just arm level, arm length, 15 minutes. Do the other side, 15 minutes. Even if you don't feel anything on the other side, do it anyways, 15 minutes. So we're trying to accomplish 30 minutes. And you want to do that at least 3 times per week. That's not that bad. 30 minutes, 3 times per week. It's really not bad at all. And I know all of you can do it. You can find time to do it. It's your health at the end of the day. It's our health. We have to take care of it. So I hope that covered a lot of what questions a lot of you had in terms of how long, what are the benefits, how does it work, the distance from where you should use it. All these things are beneficial. Another thing I do want to bring up is if you read a lot about infrared light, it tells you to use eye protection. I don't use it because I don't look at it. So if you want to gaze into the machine for whatever reason, then definitely want to get some eye protection. But in my humble opinion, I don't even look at it because it's on the side of my face. So I'm actually looking that direction every time I'm using it. So I don't use eye protection. I have a video where I have used eye protection, and it was because I was explaining the device itself. So I had the device on, but I was looking at it. So I hope that answers that question as well for you all. I hope you really take into account all this information here. Remember, it's going to help on a cellular level. We got to get to the core of things. Remember, it can help with muscle tightness. It can help with all these things, but it's going to take work and it's going to take consistency. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and I'll leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next video.